Oh yeah, I decided to get back up and start doing some stuff today. And now you see what my motto is and what I always say comes to light. Okay? And I always said a man pays for what he does one way or another. If you do something sneaky or dishonest, you're going to pay for it one way or another in this world. It always seems to happen. May not happen the way you would like for it to happen, but it always come full circle somewhere, shape or form. So that's why I don't plot revenge on people. When I was younger, I felt I gotta get even. But when you turn it over, just let the man upstairs deal with it. Let life deal with the situation. I'm not going to get distracted off of a path. And things fall into place. I don't even have to do anything, and I don't have to wish bad on them. Nothing. Things just happen because of the nature of what the energy was around that person. They destroy themselves. And you're not the only person that they did this to. Life comes back to bite them in the butt. And that's going to segue right into Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher has been one of the sneakiest people around since he was with the Lakers. I mean, when he was in LA, most of his activities could be monitored. But when he was in Utah, he was miserable. So when his daughter got sick, and he used this as a tool to get back to LA, to play for the Lakers, because he had to get his daughter help. He would forego the money. He wanted to be back in LA. Utah is like another planet. Watching your homeboys come over to visit every time you playing at home. And they're like, hey man, yeah, what you doing in Utah? Nothing. Because Utah is like another planet as far as the way you would like things to go. Or what you're used to. Fish got turned out going to the Playboy Mansion. And when the whole Laker team was there, he got turned out. Rick Fox got turned out. A couple other players, they were never the same, and made it daily routines to party and hang out at the Playboy Mansion. And during this time, the Lakers was the hottest thing in town, and that's what they wanted to do. So Fox, Fish, they regularly frequent the establishment. So Fish was able to balance two different lives because the people there are professionals. They know this is where you go to get away from social media, everything else. They was professional. The problem with Derek is he's always been the type of person who people see and they look at him and they think a certain thing about him without actually knowing that he's two-faced and he has an agenda. And he has a problem for dating people's women who are in relationships. I know people like this because I asked my buddy, I said, well, why would you do this? Why did you put yourself in a situation where your homie is shooting at you, trying to blow your head off in the alley? You running up the alley, he's trying to shoot you in the back of the head. Why are you putting yourself in this position? I don't know, man. I don't know. And they really don't. It's like a sickness. But it's easier for them because they see the flaws of what this man is not doing for this woman, or they see the motivations of this woman and saying, I know how to get her. I know he did half the work of just bringing her around me. Now I can just move in and take her. And that's how Derek was. He sit back and observe situations, and then he move in for the attack. Let's go back to the Billy Hunter situation. A lot of you guys say, who's Billy Hunter? Billy Hunter was the president of the union. Okay? And when they had you remember the strike or whatever, when they had the NBA PA executive situation, and Billy Hunter was always the guy in charge. Well, Fisher was like the understudy at the time, and he's the one in 2013 when they had the audit of Billy Hunter, and they basically ended his tenure with the whole Players Association union after they let Fisher come in. What had happened was Fisher secretly met with the owners and cut a deal with the collective bargaining agreement, which all the major wealthiest players in the NBA would be favored and protected by the deal, while all the other players in the league would be screwed. But Billy Hunter was one of the people that had to be removed. So they had to get him out of the way because Billy Hunter was somebody who wasn't going to play ball. So Billy Hunter has filed a lawsuit against the league for what happened, and naming Fisher as one of the people that have betrayed the union. So Fisher has already betrayed the players allegedly, and now you're in a situation where people like Gilbert Arenas and other NBA players don't like him very much for what he did, because Gilbert Arenas is upset because his Washington Wizards situation, when his deal and what happened with him when he did something really stupid, how they got around paying him his money, and Fisher kind of screwed him out of the deal. So that's why if you see Gilbert Arenas back and Matt Barnes so hard, it's because of his hate for Derek Fisher. Never liked him. So we all know about the publicized events between Fisher and Matt Barnes. That's when everything went public. But no one noticed or paid any attention how he left his wife and moved to New York and tried to get the kids to move there behind her back. And it was like, whoa, he just cleared out everything and was nothing left. He never gave her any warning. They had just celebrated their 10-year marriage anniversary. And he just ups and moves because Derek, in his mind, wasn't married no more. It was all just for show. And then he didn't need it no more. So he separated himself from it. Because that's what Derek does. Now, he's with the Knicks. And right away, he has problems with some of the younger players on the team that he's trying to mold into point guards, like Tim Hardaway Jr., who he's trying to get to be more of a point instead of a point two. You know, like Hardaway Jr. is more of a shooting point guard, which you see a lot more now these days. They want to be the guy to shoot the shot the last second. They're not really looking to make the pass. So I understood him trying to transition him into a point guard that's looking at the, looking at the court, seeing who's open, trying to hit the open man. I get that you're trying to improve him, but it was almost like a scolding of him at certain times, and they clash because of the way Fisher tries to stand over top of him. And this is where NBA players and I gotta say this because there's certain players in the league, they all are offered, but they stay true to the women they had before they got there, or the women that helped them to become the men they are. They don't violate that. It's not worth it to be with some fake girl with empty eyes. Their motivation is attention, spotlight. They want to be in it, so they want to get as close as they can to the game. And these players got to realize that, like, they're not there for you, and you know this going in. Her desires are shoes, purses, and attention, and you think this makes you look good by having her with you. It doesn't. It makes you look like a fool to the rest of the public, because anybody could get those women who are in that position. So it doesn't make you look good. You look really desperate and like a sucker. And that's what other people think about you behind your back, because she has been with probably 3, 4, maybe 5 other players before she landed on you. You were not her option, or at least her first option, 4th, 3rd, or 4th, 5th, whatever. So a few players like Cleon Anthony or Hardaway Jr., you should be listening and taking notes. Young players in the league today, understand this. Know what it is. Now, I'm not saying because a girl looks pretty that she's one of these girls that's out there, but they know these women I'm talking about, and they know where they out there. These women have no governors on themselves, no care in the world. They just throw themselves at you, and they have no care about themselves as well as others, and you can tell the difference. Now, I won't say that about Hardaway Jr.'s situation, but it was to the point where they said Hardaway Jr. and Derek Fisher wasn't going to work out, because after the end of the season, they were about to come to blows. So Derek Fisher goes up to talk to Phil Jackson, and Phil knows almost everything that's going on, because he's hearing the rumors. So he's, Derek, listen, when I brought you here, we can't have this. Okay? We're here to win games. You gotta conduct yourself as a coach. Okay? You can't be missing meetings, flying in here with a hangover. I know what that night looks like. You got it written all over your face. Okay? You're a coach. You gotta be the example. And he sends Derek back out there. Derek's like, okay, I'm gonna fix this ship. I'm gonna right this ship, because there's a lot of players that didn't want Derek Fisher on the team. I won't name players, but they didn't want him to be the head coach. They didn't like the fact that Derek Fisher was there. They wanted a more experienced coach, somebody who was really a coach. And players wouldn't like pay attention to him, follow him. And what he was doing was basically trying to run triangle offense through a team that doesn't even know what that means, have never played that in college, or don't know what the triangle offense really is, and they're trying to learn it as they're playing instead of just playing basketball. So his style of coaching is like new or alien to them. And you're taking players out of their comfort spots of scoring. So it was it's a different mix, the stuff that just didn't blend. So then when Cleon Anthony's situation happened, with his woman and everything, and all these stuff start coming right back around, Fish was on the prowl, and they trade away Hardaway. Hardaway had to even call and ask her, like, look, are you messing with Fish? Because it's like rumors are flying around. People saying they saw you at one of these bars and you were there with Fish, like Fish was there. And this was a problem for Derek Fisher, that it couldn't even wait to the end of the year because all this stuff was going to blow up. They're not winning games. The team is a mess, and the Cleon Anthony situation was just the icing on the cake. So Phil called him up there and was like, Derek, it disappoints me, but I gotta let you go. I told you I was gonna see what was gonna happen on this trip, but I gave you a chance to get yourself together, and we're gonna pay you to the end of the season, and then we got a package for you, and good luck. I'd love to have you, but I think in a couple more years, I think you'll probably be ready to be a head coach. Just right now, I just don't see it, Derek. I thought you could handle this because you know the game, but you're just not ready right now. And that's it. Derek's cut loose, and now all this stuff is coming out of the woodwork about Derek Fisher. But other players in the league, they're not surprised. They didn't like him. The only players that liked him were the rich people. The ones that had the big contracts, the Kevin Durant's. Those guys loved him. He helped save a lot of money for them. So if you were in that bracket, you were going to make a lot of money with that guy. But you knew not to hang with him, or not to bring your girl around him. See, Kobe didn't have that problem because Vanessa's not that type of woman. Vanessa Bryant is not, I'm finna hang out with the NBA Wives Club. She don't do that. She hangs out with her children. And that's it. She's not in that circle. So that's not what they're into. And now you got to look at Derek Fisher and say, where does he go from here? And no matter where he goes, no one's going to trust him. You see, everything you do that's sneaky, it comes back and bites you in the end. I'm out.